Well, it is 7:03. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sean Atkins, Chair of the East Point Planning and Zoning Commission. At this time, I'd like to call our regularly scheduled June 2021 meeting to order. Staff, would you please sound roll call to establish a quorum or to verify a quorum?
Commissioner Atkins.
Present.
Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Todd.
Here.
Commissioner Bell. Commissioner Fan. Commissioner McKnight.
Here.
Commissioner Lovett.
Here.
Commissioner Bryant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Commissioner Fields.
Did he go on mute? Commissioner Fields, you're on mute. Could you please unmute and just respond to the roll call?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alston. Did I hear when you called Commissioner Bryant's name, did I hear someone on the phone because he normally dials in, is that correct?
It doesn't appear to be dialed in today.
Okay.
Let's see, we do have one attendee. Let's see.
And I think that Commissioner Miller has just joined us. Would you please sound his name so that he may answer present and that may be recorded by our stenographer?
Commissioner Miller.
You're on mute, Commissioner Miller.
Very sorry I'm late, guys.
That's okay. Okay, so you are saying present.
Can we confirm if the number 9819 is Commissioner?
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
Commissioner Bryant, that is you, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a quorum. If you would please put up the agenda so I may follow it because I do not have mine in front of me.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm pulling it up right now, 1 second.
Okay. While you're doing that, I will also just go in and, okay. Our next order on the agenda is item number 3, moment of silence. Commissioners, would you please join me in a moment of silence for this evening? Thank you. Our next order on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. Commissioners, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt our agenda as presented.
Motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Bryant, that we adopt our agenda as printed. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. We will follow this agenda as presented. Commissioners, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve our May 20th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Bryant, that we approve our May 20th, 2021 meeting minutes. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Our May 20, 2021 meeting minutes are approved. We have no items under old business, so we will now move into new business. Our first case number is 2021 V as in Victor -001-05. Staff, would you please sound the caption for this agenda item?
Chairman Atkins, in reference to case number 2021 V-001-05, the applicant Todd Simmons, location 3625 North Commerce Drive. Applicant seeks variance for relief from section 10-2154 for a reduction in required number of parking spaces. This is a variance case.
Okay. This agenda item, as well as our other agenda item this evening, does require a public hearing. And at this time, I am trying to get to my public hearing rules on my computer, but just one second. Okay. Public hearings before the Planning and Zoning Commission shall be conducted in accordance with section 10-2219 of the East Point Zoning Code and Development Regulations as follows. Persons both favoring and opposing the proposed case will be provided an opportunity to address the commission. The applicant or the zoning case or the applicant's designated representative, if any, will be entitled to speak first, followed by other speakers in favor of the proposal for a total of 15 minutes. Those who oppose the proposed zoning case will then be permitted to speak for a total of 15 minutes. By majority vote, the commission may increase the total time of the speakers provided that each side is given the same amount of time. If there is more than one speaker for a side, the chair or the presiding officer may limit the time allotted to each individual speaker other than the zoning applicant. The zoning applicant may reserve a portion of his or her allotted time for rebuttal. Speakers must adhere to the rules of the quorum. Prior to speaking, each speaker shall identify him or herself and shall state his or her current address. Each speaker shall speak only to the merits of the proposed zoning ordinance under consideration, shall address remarks only to the commission, and shall refrain from making personal attacks on any other speaker. The presiding officer may refuse a speaker the right to continue if after first being cautioned, the speaker continues to violate the rules of the quorum. As we continue to meet virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are utilizing this telemeeting platform to act upon planning and zoning cases as they come before this commission. As such, I am asking each participant other than the commissioners and the staff to mute their devices. Once we get to parts on the agenda that require public input, those who have notified staff of their desire to speak will be recognized to speak. If you did not notify staff of your desire to speak, please use the raise hand or chat function to be recognized. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard the rules for public hearing. At this time, I'd like to ask if our applicant is present for our first agenda item.
Present.
Okay. Before we have the applicant to speak, commissioners, at this time, I entertain a motion to open the public hearing for our first agenda item.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker Todd, seconded by Commissioner Miller, that we open the public hearing for case number 2021 V as in Victor -001-05. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. Is our applicant present this evening?
Yes, present.
Okay, please state your first and last name and your current address.
My name is Todd Simmons. Address is 209 West Stone Avenue, Greenville, South Carolina, 29609.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Simmons. You may present your case.
Yes, thank you all again for allowing me to bring this case before you. As we went over last week in the workshop, I'll try to make this brief since really the same information is still there, but this is for the Lowe's Home Centers located at 3625. I've lost my road name. North Commerce, sorry about that. The existing Lowe's Home Centers facility. So what the request is for Lowe's to be able to add a tool rental component to their existing services, basically an addition of a 30 by 100 approximate square foot addition on the north side of the building. That addition will impact 15 existing parking spaces to be able to provide fire access and accurate maneuvering around the existing facility. And we're asking for a variance from the parking regulations, basically from a topography standpoint. The area where we're making this impact, it's approximately a 40-foot high slope there. So adding those additional spaces would be very problematic. Kind of coupled with from our standpoint, from Lowe's business standpoint, there's obviously lots of parking here at this facility. I think there was 689 parking spaces originally. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. 659 parking spaces originally. So when we lose 15 spaces, that would leave us with 644 spaces. As I said last week, kind of as a way to gauge kind of what we would normally have if we were building a new store today, we would only build about 400. So we're still talking about that even with this request to go to and just allow 644 spaces, we're still more than 50% more parking than Lowe's feels would be necessary to adequately serve the customers that may come there. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you all might have.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Are there any other proponents here to speak in favor of this zoning matter? Any other proponents here to speak in favor of the zoning matter? Are there any opponents here to speak against the zoning matter? Any opponents here to speak against the zoning matter? Hearing none and seeing none, commissioners, at this time, I entertain a motion to close the public hearing for case number 2021 V as in Victor-001-05.
Mr. Chair, I move that we close the public hearing.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Lovett, seconded by Commissioner Miller, that we close the public hearing for 2021 V as in Victor-001-05. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now closed. Staff, would you please sound your recommendation?
Case number 2021 V-001-05, located at 3625 North Commerce. The applicant, Mr. Todd Simmons, seeks a variance for relief from section 10-2154 for reduction in required number of parking spaces. The property is zone C2 with conditions, and the applicant is seeking a variance for relief from section 10-214 from required 689 parking spaces to 644 spaces, from 5 spaces per 1,000 square feet to 4.67 spaces per 1,000 square feet, with the hardship of the existing topography being 40-foot tall slope. The property is within the regional center future land use designation, and the applicant has provided a site plan of the property in question, and staff recommends approval for relief from section 10-2154 for reduction in required number of parking spaces from required 689 spaces, 5 spaces per 1,000 square foot per code, to 644 spaces, parking spaces, 4.67 spaces per 1,000 square feet.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, at this time, we've heard from the applicant and we've also heard staff's recommendation. As this is a variance, you're the final arbiter for this particular case, so your motion does not need to be made in the form of a recommendation. At this time, I will entertain a motion for case number 2021 V as in Victor-001-05.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker Todd, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that this body approves the variance request for a reduction in parking for case number 2021 V as in Victor-001-05. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Hearing none, all in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same right, sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The item is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Our next case is 2021 U as an umbrella -001-05. Staff, would you please sound the caption for this agenda item?
Yes, Chairman Atkins, in reference to case number 2, case number 2021 U as in uncle -001-05, the applicant Richard Winfrey and Ms. Carolyn Oliver, located at 2533 Jefferson Terrace. Applicant seeks special use permit to convert existing garage space into habitable accessory structure loft space. This is a special use permit application.
All right, thank you. Is the applicant present this evening?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing for 2021 U as an umbrella -001-05.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been
Second.
moved by Commissioner Tucker Todd, second by Commissioner Bryant, that we open the public hearing for 2021 U as an umbrella -001-05. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed has the same right, sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. The applicant, would you please step forward, state your first and last name and your current address?
Yes. My current address, I'm Richard Winfrey. Current address is 2599 Oak Street, East Point, Georgia, 30344.
You may present your case, Mr. Winfrey.
I am presenting the case for Ms. Rashida Oliver. We are converting a existing space of a conversion from a garage to a accessory structure. And we are looking to convert that space for personal use. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here to speak in favor of this case? Any other proponents here to speak in favor? Hearing none and seeing none, are there any opponents here to speak against?
There was a raised hand, Mr. Chair, for proponents.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Let's see here. Who was that speaker, Mr. Alston?
Ms. Rashida Oliver.
Ms. Oliver, okay. Ms. Oliver, you're recognized. If you would state your first and last name and your current address.
Certainly. My name is Rashida Oliver. My current address is 2537 Jefferson Terrace.
Okay. You may go ahead with your comments.
All right. So I wasn't sure whether it would just rest on the applicant, Mr. Winfrey, who's assisting us with that. But I wanted to make sure from last week's meeting when I was in, there was a question about bathroom and kitchen and things of that nature. So I just wanted to be available in case there was a question for me as it pertains to the use. But it will be for personal use.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Oliver. Are there any other proponents? Any other proponents to speak in favor of this zoning application? Let's make sure I don't miss anyone. Are there any opponents to speak against the zoning application? Any opponents? Hearing none and seeing none. Commissioners, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner McKnight, that we close the public hearing for 2021 U as an umbrella -001-05. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now closed. Staff, would you please sound your recommendation?
Case number 2021 U as an umbrella -001-05. The applicant, Mr. Richard Winfrey, seeks a special use permit at 2533 Jefferson Terrace to convert existing garage space into habitable accessory structure. The zoning for the subject site is R1A urban residential and is located within a traditional urban neighborhood zoning designation. The property does have the 3 parking spaces, unrestricted parking spaces as required by code. The primary structure being 1,076 square feet, the garage being 264 square feet, meeting the 50%, being over 50% of the primary structure requirement as indicated in the habitable accessories section of the code. Staff's recommendation is that we recommend approval with the following conditions. Site plan will be submitted showing location of third unobstructed parking space. Follow all criteria set forth in section 10-2130 of zoning ordinance. In the event location is being used as short-term rental, business applicant must follow all short-term rental guidelines as adopted by City Council, including registering home as such and applying for business licenses.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, we've heard from the applicant and we've heard the applicant's representative, and we've also heard staff's recommendation. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Because this is a special use permit, please make sure your motion is in the form of a recommendation.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Miller.
I recommend approval of staff's recommendations for approval of the case with staff conditions being considered.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that this body recommends approval with the conditions as stated by staff. Is that correct, Mr. Miller?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, all right, Ms. Lovett, your second still stands, correct?
It does, thank you.
Sure. Commissioners, any comments, questions, or concerns? Okay. The one question that I had from last week was about minimum square footages, and that may apply to principal structures, but staff, did you pull that information to present tonight?
We did speak with our staff, our chief building instructor, who informed us, as stated last week, that there is no minimum square footage for accessory dwellings, only for primary structures.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions, or concerns from commissioners? Okay, hearing none. The motion is to recommend approval. Motion made by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, and that motion is also to approve with the conditions as stated by staff. All in favor sound aye.
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 All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. This body recommends approval. Thank you so much. Our next agenda item . Can I get the agenda, please?
Actually, those are all the cases for this evening, and the agenda item is for announcements.
Okay. Next on our agenda would be announcements. Staff, do you have any announcements for this evening?
Not at this time, sir.
Okay. And commissioners, do you have any announcements?
Mr. Chair, I don't know if this is an announcement or if this is a request, but I am requesting, this is Commissioner Lovett, I'm requesting an ethics review to be added to the staff's agenda for our next meeting.
Okay. Would that be for the meeting or for the work session?
For the work session.
Okay.
We can start with the work session, yes.
Okay, for the work session. And is that ethics for commissioners?
For commissioners, yes.
Okay. Staff, would you please note that Commissioner Lovett would like to have, and I'm certainly fine with it, would like to have an agenda item that will cover commissioner ethics at our next work session. So please make sure that that is on the agenda.
Yes, is there anything that we need to look into? Are we looking at the rules and regulations for the Planning Commission? Is there anything specific that we need to pull in reference to that item, or is it just for discussion amongst yourselves?
Commissioner Lovett, well, I think that it would probably be very helpful if, I know that we've had a few new commissioners to come on board, and I am not aware of the packets that they receive when they come on board. And so we should probably make sure at a minimum that we have the bylaws that govern this body, and also any information from the code that speaks to the Planning and Zoning Commission that will clearly serve as a foundation for any discussion that we may have. Would that be fine, Commissioner Lovett, or are you looking for additional items as well?
That will be sufficient. That will get the conversation started and open it up to further discussion.
All right, thank you. So staff, would you please make sure you have those items and place that on the agenda?
Will do, thank you.
And it looks like Ms. Wiggins had raised her hand.
Okay, Ms. Wiggins?
I did, but you covered it in that last comment, so I can put it down. Thank you.
I try to make it do what it do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
All right. Any other announcements from commissioners?
I have one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Commissioner Bryant, go ahead, please.
I'd like to invite all the commissioners out on Saturday at the Juneteenth. My group will be playing Saturday. We go on stage at I think it's 3:30. So I would like for you all to come out and support our Juneteenth and support my band.
Okay. And for those of you who are not aware, Commissioner Bryant has served as a commissioner in this body at least for a term or two before, and oftentimes provided musical selections through the playing of his saxophone at our holiday events or commissioner gatherings. And we greatly appreciated those. And I will tell you this, that Commissioner Sheldon absolutely loved his play. That would be wonderful, and glad to hear that you all are having a Juneteenth celebration. Are there any other announcements? All right. Well, commissioners, my computer has notified me that the battery is going dead, and I am unprepared with my charger. And so before we get disconnected without proper adjournment, I'm sorry. Before we get disconnected without a proper adjournment, at this time I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Miller, seconded by Commissioner McKnight, that we adjourn. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Please enjoy your Juneteenth celebration this weekend, and we will see you same bat time next month. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.